breaths kind of get, you can take them together if you want. One of the greatest gifts Hashem gave us is his ability to breathe. There's a teaching that the Ari brings that the Midrash says, I've shared this with you at other times here in this room and with others in different places, but I never tire of repeating it, but I hope you will not retire of hearing it again. The Ari brings the teaching from the Midrash that there are 4 people in the Tanakh whose name Hashem calls twice. Abraham, Yaakov, Moshe, and Shmuel. So the Midrash says that when Hashem calls somebody's name twice, it means it's a sign of chavivut, of belovedness. Abraham, Yaakov, Moshe, and we can even do it with our own kids, right? With our own selves. And the Kabbalah, it says that the first name represents, also the Midrash also says that it means also that that person has a portion in this world and the portion in the next world. And it doesn't just mean that only those have a portion in the next world. We all do. But their portion became so real that it manifested within this world. They became interdimensional human beings. They were no longer just locked in to our reality. I. So Abraham, Yaakov, Moshe. You certainly can. Will it go off in the middle and make? No. Remember we did that once.
Once went off. So I promise it won't this one.
And so the Midrash says that when Hashem calls somebody's name twice, it means they have a portion in this world and the portion in the next world. The Kabbalah then says that don't take it to mean that this world and the next world is sometime in the future. We all have a portion in the next world in the future. It really means that they've connected to their shorish neshama, to their soul root in the upper dimension, and that they're bringing down more of that into that aspect of themselves that is in this world. And the Zohar says that the aspect of the soul that can come into our bodies is exactly proportional to the aspect of our feet, our bodies that come into our shoes. Only the lowest extremity of our feet, of our bodies, comes into our shoes. Our shoes are it's like down there. Even if you wear boots, okay, fine, it's a little bit up. So our bodies, relative to our soul, are like a shoe relative to a whole body. So that teaching really got to me. And it made me realize that I think that the whole purpose that we're here is to bring more soul down into our body, to embody, right? To embody, to become more and more filled with soul in body. And how do we do that? So there's a meditation. It's pretty simple. I've simplified it because I like simple things. And it's breathing in and breathing out. You can breathe in with and out with your mouth open if you wish. Doesn't matter. Or with your mouth closed. But do it. Deep breaths. Empty out. And then take in. And then hold in for a second. And stretch and move your shoulders and relax your neck. Get some of the tension out. And do it all the time, all the while breathing. And then the initial stage of this meditation is that when you breathe in, in a sense, I see when I do it, I feel my body filling up and getting straighter and stronger and moving up. And so I imagine that I'm going up and connecting to my Shorsh Neshama, to my soul root. And if you want, you can picture your own name, the letters of your own name, or you don't have to do that, it's optional. But the idea is that you're connecting up to the aspect of you that's far beyond anything we know. And there's a lot about that, of what it means. It's some abstract thing called a soul root. What is it? It's a metaphor, obviously, is of a tree. And yes, they do use the metaphor of a tree. It's an upside down tree. And the Maharal talks about it, and the Rav Wolbe in his Alei Shor talks about it, and it goes back to the Zohar and to the Ari and everything. It's an upside down tree that our roots are above and our branches are below. And so not only literally are the root system of our whole body in our brains, but the root system of our soul is up. And we can connect up to that root system. Rav Chaim Vital gives a meditation that is if the branch of our soul comes down from the trunk of the tree of our life, the tree of life, and comes all the way down and becomes internal in us. And we can use a visualization to travel up like almost, it's not a branch anymore, it's like a thread of light, of soul light. And we can travel back up that branch, up into its connection to the trunk, inside the trunk, and move up into the root system. It's a visualization based on a metaphor. But we want to use the idea embodied in it is to connect up and to breathe into that. And then the initial stage, as I said, is when you breathe down, when you let out after a deep breath. The deep breath is the connection with the higher level, and the down is bringing it in, bringing more in than that was there before. But then I figured, I'm not really happy with moving up and down so quick. It's too fast for me. So I said, okay, I'll stay up here. And even if I breathe in and out, but I'll stay up. And every breath in is going higher up. And I put my head back into my shoulders, and I kind of rested there, with my forehead facing up in a receiving position, and the light shining down into me, and me connecting and reaching up beyond the rational mind, beyond what I know, connecting to the infinite, and just breathing in and out naturally. Just really getting used to that, having your head back without pain in any way, God forbid, but just relaxed but back, and having your forehead up. Our head is like a yud. We're facing the top point of the yud, the meeting of our hairline with our forehead. We're facing it up to receive. And then, whenever it's comfortable, you come back down, your head down to a balanced position with your eyes closed, and keep breathing. I like to dilate my throat a little bit and have the breath come out a little bit more slowly than it would. And so you can hear it a little bit like this. And after you do a meditation like this, which is so simple because it's just up and down and breathing in and breathing out, then your bowing can be different. The act of bowing that we do can become a whole beautiful, delicious kind of real meaningful movement in our lives, where we're standing up straight, and now we're ready to bow down. And there's so many different meanings and beautiful nuances of bowing down. And one of them is that your head becomes like a bucket. And you bow at the waist first, and then you put the bucket in the well. And then you start drawing up from the waist. And finally draw the bucket up. Because it's a verse in Proverbs. It says, Maim amukim belev ish. Deep waters are in the heart of a person. Ve'ish tivunot yedlena. And a man of understanding draws it forth like a bucket. A deli is the noun for a bucket. And the verb form is yedlena, to dole, to draw up the beautiful waters. Maybe there's some murky waters at one point in us, but if you go deep enough, you come to pure crystalline waters, because that's who we are. So don't ever think that we have just murky waters down there. They're the purest of the pure, and that our head connects down to those levels, and we draw up, and we become a final unified system. We're not disconnected from each other. We don't do things down here that we wouldn't do up here. We become unified. That's one meaning of bow. Of course, when we bow, we also bow to that which is higher than us. We bow our lusts, and we bow our emotions, and we bow our minds and say, as much as I understand, as much as I think I know that what I know is nothing. And I'm ready to receive more because I empty out my vessel, and full vessel can't receive, right? We're full of ourselves. So bowing means I'm emptying out my vessel, and then I'm standing up straight again, and I'm allowing myself to be filled with. So, a few more breaths with whatever you want to do with them. It's freestyle meditation. The only idea behind it is, please Hashem, let us connect with the higher souls that we're connected to, with our soul root up in Neshama and in Chaya and Yechida. There's so many beautiful things to talk about with that, and if anybody wants, we can go on with that. But right now, the purpose of this was just to do the connecting to the higher purpose, the higher mission, and to bring it down into ourselves and to embody it as we walk in this world. And that we can use our breathing and our body movements to make it more, to bring it in, to make it not some kind of intellectual thing, but much more just doing it. The mind almost doesn't understand these things, so we need to go beyond the mind, the rational mind. So, last night we sang the last four stanzas of the song that you have in front of you, O Mistater.
I just wanted to thank Dina and David Reese for a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to welcome everybody. Sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to first thank our hosts and hostesses, David and Dina Reese, whose house we are in now. We have about 40 or 50 events every year in this house. My website is called Exciting Judaism. You can get on the website. I have another 3-4 events coming up for the rest of the summer. Last night's class of Avraham will be on my website and on his YouTube channel, Rabbi Sutton. I also want to pass around the purple envelope. We try to have a $10 minimum donation, whatever you can afford to cover the rabbi and the expenses. Have a great night.
Thank you, David. Thank you for setting it up.